Greetings, Morgan County. My name is Velde T, coordinator of the Morgan County Family Connection. Thank you for joining us today for this session of Connecting Through Conversations, where we take time to talk with some of your most influential and inspiring leaders. Today we have with us Mrs. Janet Woodard, Morgan County 4-H agent with the local extension office. Janet actually started her career with the UGA Cooperative, UGA Extension Office back in 1998 in Jeff Davis County as the extension agent and the 4-H agent, correct?
That's correct,
okay.
and a home economist.
Okay. She left that career when her family moved to Northeast Georgia, but then she resumed her work back with the extension office in 2007 as the local Morgan County 4-H agent.
That's correct.
Janet graduated from the Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College and University of Georgia with a degree in home economics education. And Janet currently resides here in Morgan County with her husband James and their two children, Claire and Will. Join me in welcoming Mrs. Janet Woodard to our conversation.
Thank you, Velde. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much again for being here and taking time out of your busy schedule to join us on the set today. It's a pleasure to have you here. I know you have a lot of different things going on, so I'm glad you took time to come out and share with our partners today.
I appreciate you asking me.
I want to just start off by asking this question. What actually got you involved in your current position as the 4-H agent here in Morgan County, and what brought you and your family here to Morgan County?
We moved to Morgan County in 2000, actually 2001. We moved to Northeast Georgia in 2000 and started building a house and found land in Morgan County to build on and became a part of the community in 2001. Okay. I had the opportunity at that time to be able to stay at home with my children. I had been working previously before we moved to North Georgia and with Extension, and had the opportunity when we moved for my husband's job to be able to stay at home for a while. So I took a 7-year break,
okay.
and I started back to work with Extension in 2007 as the 4-H agent here in Morgan County.
Okay, awesome, awesome. As you've served on the Morgan County Family Connection Board for many years, I am fairly familiar with 4-H and its programs. In fact, my youngest son serves as, I think he says, the first vice president of their club there in Covington. So I have some idea about 4-H and its services. But would you take this time to just share with me more about the mission of 4-H and the various programs and services that it has to offer?
Well, our mission is to be able to meet youth where they are. And in Morgan County, we're fortunate enough to be in the school system to be able to work with every 5th grader and every 6th grader in Morgan County is a member of 4-H, and we have officers in each one of those clubs that learn leadership skills through representing their club in the office that they hold for their club meetings. But 4-H age is 9 to 19, so when we offer 3 levels of programming: Cloverleaf Junior and Senior. Cloverleaf is our 4th 9-year-olds. Most of those are in 4th grade through the 6th grade. 7th and 8th graders would be considered our junior 4-Hers, and then our senior 4-Hers are our high school students.
Okay. All right, great. One of the reasons I thought it was important to have this conversation with you now is that, as you know, January is known as National Youth Leadership Month. And I thought it was important when I looked at what 4-H does. But I want you to kind of tell us in your own words, how do you think this month is related to the work that 4-H does with the youth here in Morgan County? And while you're thinking about that, I also want you to answer the question about the upcoming Teen Maze, and just look at and share with our partners what role does youth leadership have to play in the planning of that event?
Huge role. Matter of fact, the Teen Maze started because of a group of 4-Hers who went to a statewide event that was held where they were able to look at their community and see needs that needed to be addressed. And when they discussed the needs that they saw in their community, especially in their school system, that they felt like needed to be addressed, they took on a leadership role and became the catalyst to offer the Teen Maze for our community. It took entire community to be able to offer it, but those youth, and it was a group of 5 students that saw the need and took the role as to be the leader to bring that to our community.
Right. And for anyone that had the opportunity to witness that event last year and participate and experience, so we could see just how great that leadership role the youth took on to be able to pull that many partners together to make that event such a huge success?
I would say all 5 of those students were already, had been involved in our program since they were 9 years old, or at least by 5th grade, and had already gained some of those leadership skills through being officers or a leader of a judging team or different leadership roles. So they had gained those leadership skills that helped them to be able to accomplish that goal. I think the 2 years that it took to actually put that event together, they really gained leadership skills that they'll still tell me today are carrying them through things that they're getting to accomplish now.
Right, right. And I was very impressed. I know last year I sat in on several of the planning meetings, and I was very impressed with just the confidence that the youth had in carrying out those meetings with so many key stakeholders at the table. So definitely see how 4-H has really groomed those youth to be strong leaders. So congratulations on the work that you do with them.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Is there anything you would like to ask the people that are viewing today as far as what needs you have for the upcoming Teen Maze, or are you ready to ask that yet?
Certainly are. We have already began our meetings for the Teen Maze, and we have a core group of community leaders and, of course, the youth that are involved with planning that maze. We've met twice. We will meet again next Thursday. So we're meeting every other week until April, and in April we'll start meeting every week to make sure to iron out the details. The Teen Maze took last year about 130 volunteers to be able to offer, so we're always looking for volunteers that are willing to give the time to come to the high school and help us with that on the day of the maze. We also are looking for donors to help us with offering meals for our volunteers and supplies that we'll need. Each student gets a book, and that's a cost for us to get those printed. So there's certain costs that is involved with being able to offer that. So donations, financial or time, either one. Okay.
And they could call who in order to get that?
I would ask them to call the extension office, and the number is 706-342-2214, and anybody in our office could take that call. Okay. All right. Thank you.
I know that as you've worked very closely with youth over the course of your career here in Morgan County and with families, that you've seen a unique perspective as to the needs and challenges that many of our families face here. And so I just want to get from your perspective, what would you say would be the greatest needs that you see facing children and youth here, or families and youth here in Morgan County?
I think it's not just Morgan County, but youth in general and communities in general, seeing parents more involved in what their student is involved in. And I think 4-H does a good job with offering that opportunity. I actually was on a statewide committee meeting last week, and there was a man from Walton County that his daughter is on the BB team, and he mentioned that before his daughter was on the BB team, that gave them an opportunity to actually be together, and it was a father and daughter event. And before that, he really didn't have a close relationship, so it gave him a chance to build that relationship with his child. So, and the BB team requires that the parent be there with them, because they actually give them one BB at a time for them to be able to shoot. So he went to practice with her every practice. Wow, that's great. So it's a huge commitment on parents' part, and I think a lot of times when students get involved and get busy as they get older, we start to lose them in 4-H because there's so much offered. And a lot of times it's the effort of that parent being able to realize the benefit of what they're going to get out of it if they stay involved all the way through. Those high school students you got to see involved with the Teen Maze and what they gain from their involvement. Okay. All right, great.
Back in April of 2000, I'd like to share this with everyone I interviewed, that the Georgia legislature actually delegated authority to the Morgan County Family Connection to be the authority in the local community to bring awareness to the needs of children and families here in the community, as well as to facilitate partnerships to help meet those needs. How do you think Family Connection can help meet some of those needs that you just mentioned a few seconds ago?
Well, I've had an active role in Family Connections since the early 80s when I started my career with Extension. It's a collaborative that gives people a chance to share what's the needs are in a community and be able to work as a team to be able to address those needs. And so I think that Family Connections in Morgan County helps our families be able to realize more because of the activities that we have that are involved. And Teen Maze is a great example of that, that it took a community and our Family Connection Collaborative to be able to offer that.
Right. Okay, thank you so much. One last question that I like to ask everyone that I interview, and I really get excited about to hear the answer, is I believe that everyone is here for a purpose, and I think every day that we live that we are writing our legacy. So let's say years from now, someone wants to pick up a pen and write a story on the legacy of Mrs. Janet Woodard. What would you want the highlight of that story to be?
Well, I believe that my career is a big part of my life, and it's not just a job that I go to each day. It's actually a passion that I have for the youth and the families that we work with. I get excited when I see a child's eyes light up because they've accomplished a goal that they didn't think they could accomplish, or they make it from, maybe they started out in 5th grade going to project achievement, and they may have not even looked at the audience when they gave their demonstration, but by the time they graduate from high school, they're able to talk in front of thousands of people, and the opportunities that 4-H gave them along the way to see that goal reach. So that's what I work every day for.
And you're doing a great job of it. Again, just being so impressed to see those students and that leadership quality that they have, and I know that it took years to get them there, but that the work has been done. So continue the good work.
And
I want to thank you so much again, Janet, for joining me today for this session of Connected Through Conversation. It's been enlightening. Again, you served on the board, and I see the work that you do, but just to sit down and talk with you has been an honor. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. I enjoyed it.
And I'd like to also thank you, our viewing audience, for watching this session of Connecting Through Conversation. We invite you to watch all of our upcoming sessions, as well as to join us the 3rd Tuesday of each month at our collaborative table, where we will continue to gather data, connect partners, and impact families. Until next time, this is Velde T. Have a wonderful day.